What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Post Point podcast. Today we will be talking about self-development / self-love and different forms of it and different forms that they take. So my name is Matthew John Walker, and this is
Victor, the videographer, and then this is our guest name.
Jeremy. They know from last time.
the legend, the local legend, Jeremy himself.
Oh yeah.
So their self-development comes in many forms. One example would be improving upon your fitness. So maybe going to the gym, weightlifting, maybe going on a walk, a run, all the way to reading self-help books, trying to improve your health, eating healthier. Self-development could be a number of things. For me, self-development comes in a lot of forms. It can come in the form of, for example, I'm actually, not many people would believe this, but I'm actually naturally an introverted dude. So I go out and try to communicate and talk to as many people as possible just to develop that side of myself, the social side that most people probably know by now. So nobody's stuck in anything. Like if you feel unhappy with yourself in some way, like if you feel that you're overweight or whatever, there's always ways to fix it. And I think one of the best places to start on your self-development journey is buying a gym membership. That's one of the biggest things I ever did for myself. I was at a point in my life where I was just dissatisfied with not being able to attain the things I wanted. And one thing I always wanted to do, but was always too afraid to do, was to go to the gym. It was always intimidating, and I'd have to do it by myself. I didn't have a partner to go with. So I was like, you know what? One day I was like, I'm tired of this. And I went to a gym local to my area where I live in Tacoma, and I purchased a gym membership. And at the same time, I also bought personal training because I realized I didn't really know how to work out effectively. I didn't know a lot of workouts, and I had a lot I needed to learn. So I purchased a personal trainer, spent thousands of dollars investing in myself, and I'm all the better for it, and I'm really glad that I did. It really changed my life in a good way, and that set me up for success on other journeys in self-development as well.
Yeah, and if buying a gym membership doesn't sound appealing to you, if it sounds too expensive, I have a home gym that we kind of invested in, and it's not as expensive monthly. Because when I was a freshman, I think one of the big goals for me was I wanted to get a little bit bigger because I was just this small, scrawny kid who get picked on all the time. And then I went to, the school gym, and there's all these big senior dudes, and I'm just me and my buddy were just these small, scrawny freshmen flexing in front of the mirror, and they're just making fun of us. I'm like, yeah, I'm never doing this again. So then I started working out in my home gym, and then made some gains, and then senior year, I don't know, it felt...
Definitely, man.
Yeah, it felt good.
You got in the groove. Good. You started feeling like you fit in amongst the community. Yeah, I feel that way too, and that was always intimidating to me as well. I'm like, oh, I go in there, there's gonna be a bunch of people that have already been on their gym grind and been getting the gains, and I was scrawny as well. I have a hard time gaining weight. Got a fast metabolism. It's a struggle in and of itself. A lot of people struggle to lose weight. Well, a lot of us struggle to gain weight too, and that really sucks. But yeah, so I was always intimidated of the gym for that exact reason. So, but yeah, if you're worried about that kind of thing, the only way to make your fears no longer fears is to face them head on. That's what I've discovered in my 24 years in this world, and the fears only grow and get bigger if you don't do anything about them. You have to face them. So for me, my fear of the gym has evaporated into nothing. I go there every day now, 4 to 5 times a week, I'd say. It is good to have rest days. And for those of you that are thinking, oh, I just don't have time, this and that, it's literally 45 minutes to an hour a day. You can squeeze in 45 minutes, and you'll be all the better for making that decision. So
yeah, definitely. I also agree with you on people say it's hard to lose weight. It's really hard to gain weight. Especially you have to eat so much, especially for we were both really small.
Exactly.
I don't know. You have to eat a lot to actually make any gains.
Yeah, exactly.
Focus on that protein, stuff like that, and don't let the fear of the gym, I don't know, dissuade you from going there.
Definitely, man. And the people that, for example, in his case, that would, make fun of him, things like that, those are the jerks. They're the jerks. you going there to do something better for yourself, that makes you a winner. Those people are losers. I would never make fun of someone that's going there if they're bigger or if they're scrawny. Those things. Those people are trying to improve. So I always support people's fitness journeys as well as their self-development journeys. And self-development can come once again in many different forms. So
What
Yeah.
other kind of forms?
other kind of forms. Well, there's a number. There's always self-help books. There's people way wiser. Like I'm only 24. These guys are even younger, 19. Things like
19.
that. Exactly. So I mean, you think you know a lot, but really, there's always people out there. So for example, let's say that you're a salesman, or you want to be a good salesman. There's always people that are really experienced that write books on how to improve your sales expertise and improve your skills, things like that. And so there was a quote I read that said. Men that can't read men that can read have no advantage over men that can't read if they don't actually pick up a book and start reading it. So that's a fact, and I think that there's so much knowledge that can be attained from people that have already been in the position you've been in and improve themselves with it. So for example, sales again, you could read books on how to be a better salesman from experts, look into what they've done, things like that. And that's just one experience sales, but this goes for any field. So for example, if you want to get better in the gym, or you want to put on a lot of mass, it'd be a good idea to read like an Arnold Schwarzenegger book. He's like one of the the mainstream really big famous bodybuilders out there. You know what I mean? That's one example, and there's always more examples how to
And it's so
improve yourself.
easy, like going to like body or weightlifting again. It's so easy to find information nowadays, like on the internet. Like I use YouTube. I mean, my dad's the one who got me started because he was really into weightlifting, but I definitely got most of my information or a lot of it from YouTube and just the internet.
Exactly. You can learn anything on YouTube these days. Learn how to cook, learn any of that good stuff. So, and there's other forms of self-development as well. But I think that's something that's kind of reoccurring, especially in young men, young women as well. But I know more about the man perspective because we are men. Is young men, I think in their early 20s, they go through kind of I think everyone does, kind of an identity crisis, trying to figure out who they are and if they like that person. And I know that I did in my early 20s. You go from high school where you're in that environment, that clique kind of environment. You have your friend group and all this stuff, but then you go from that into the real world. Now you're either working or in college. And I personally went into the workforce. I went to trade school and then I went into the workforce directly after that. And I had a tough time because I was really young in the industry. And then on top of that, just trying to figure out like who I was, things like that. You don't really think about those things when you're younger. Then when you get older, you start to. So a way to do that, or a way to begin to like the person that you are and develop your character is to read self-help books, go to the gym, do all these different things that help build you up and build up your confidence in yourself, and do things and get really good at the things you enjoy. That's really the best thing. And for me, I was always I was really lazy in my early years. I'd say 18, 19, 20, 21. Pretty lazy, and then the best thing I ever did for myself is step outside of my comfort zone. So I encourage anyone to do that as well.
What made you want to get into weightlifting?
For me, it was something I always was afraid to do, but always wanted to do. But so I decided one day, I was like really tired of it. I was getting really into politics at this point, and this was probably year 22 of my life, not quite 23 yet. But I was trying to I don't know, to progress my life, and I realized, like Einstein said, the definition of insanity is to continue doing the same thing, expecting a different result.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So that really kind of inspired me. I was like, I can't keep doing the same thing, just being lazy, playing Fortnite all day, things like that, going out to the bars every week with my friends.
Fortnite wasn't out when you were 18.
No, I was 22.
Oh, okay.
So,
Gotcha.
at this point it was, but I was like, I can't keep doing this. I mean, I can, but I have to, if I want to progress in my life, I have to, find some hobbies, find some stuff. So the gym was always that one thing in the back of my mind that I was like, you need to do this in order to get to where you want to be. So I ended up one day, I was like, just so tired. I was like down on myself this day, and I was so tired of feeling that way and feeling afraid. So I was like, screw it, man. Like, I'm going to go in today And I literally drove from there, and then I had like this moment where I was like, I'm not gonna go in because I'm scared. But I drove to the gas station, grabbed a water bottle, bought one, and I was like, I'm going in. So I went in, and then I talked to a salesman, a really nice guy. He doesn't work there anymore. His name was Coulter or something like that. But he was a really nice guy, the salesman, and he encouraged me to buy a membership. He was really nice. He wanted to know what my goals were, why I wanted to go there. And he asked me that, and I was like, he's like, so why are you here? He's like, it seems like, getting muscle and stuff like that, like that's part of it. He's like, but there's more. He's like, I can tell. And I told him, I was like, man, yeah, I want to feel better about myself. I want to feel better up here. It's not so much about out here. But getting the outside look, is definitely going to help you up there too. So he was like, yeah, man, that's actually why most people do it. You wouldn't believe it. But so he ended up getting me into the personal training, like referring me to a trainer there. And then that trainer was also a really good guy named Malcolm. He doesn't work there anymore, but he was a really great guy. I trained with him for several months, spent thousands of dollars, and I know that sounds incredibly expensive, but tell me, what's a better investment that you can make than an investment in yourself? That's the way I saw it. So, yeah. What about you? What got you into the gym?
For me, honestly, I remember it was like the 4th of July or something, and my dad put on Rocky, and I watched that for the first time. I'm like, dang, Sylvester Stallone's ripped. I want to get that. Dude. And then my dad's like, we had a bunch of like weightlifting equipment in our garage, which goes back to like the membership thing. You don't necessarily have to have a membership, but yeah, it's a good investment either way, having a home gym or having a monthly plan. Definitely. But yeah, I watched Rocky and I was like, I want to get that body. And my dad worked out in from high school to like college and stuff, so like he was pretty educated on that, just like eating a lot of protein, getting that protein, working out consistently, stuff like that. But definitely, like, I wasn't seeing any gains. Like, there's this thing called newbie gains, right? Mm-hmm. Like, because your body's, like it's just getting used to it, and, like, your muscle's going to adapt. So, like, when you first start, you get, like really good results and stuff, but I didn't because I wasn't, like, educated enough to know that I need to lift heavier and eat more. So then later on, as I, I definitely got, like, discouraged from that because I wasn't seeing any results, but that goes to, like, the willpower thing. Like, I took, like, a break. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, you know what? This feels weird because I like got into like the consistency, working out like every day, stuff like that. And I'm like, I feel weird not working out anymore. So then I got back into it and changed up my game plan a little bit. Yeah, lifted a little bit heavier, did different exercises, ate more, and then I actually saw some like results and stuff like that. And then, yeah, working out's definitely like a willpower thing, but you definitely feel good afterward. And it's so good, like, what I'm trying to say is like starting to work out. It's definitely harder than like. Once you like get into the groove of things, because like once you like you get more motivation once you like you see these results, and then like and like you're already like on like a schedule and stuff like that.
No, I agree with that 100%. It's definitely harder when you first start because you're like you almost don't believe that you're gonna get to where you want to go. But for me, when I first started, like you said, newbie gains. Like you start working out, and then you see your strength going up a lot. Like what was heavy to you once is now like cake. But after a while, it starts to stagnate and level out a bit. The biggest thing is eating as well. If you want to put on mass, then eating a lot is going to be big and important and crucial, and that's where I struggle, honestly. And
focusing on protein too, but like if you have a fast metabolism, it doesn't really matter because
exactly right. So,
do you think self-development helps you become a better alpha male?
He wants to get in the alpha male subject. I'm down for that. But absolutely, I think a lot of men in this day and age, especially in a younger age, they struggle with just having that alpha male characteristic. And I think one of the best ways to do that is to work out, man.
What about with those things that they put inside of products that like...
Oh, like soy, all those different things. Yeah, soy. Don't drink soy lattes, men, watching this. Turns you into a what they call a soy boy. A soy boy. You can Urban Dictionary these things. Yeah, you gotta watch out for those. No, but... In all reality, though, working out certainly helps you feel more masculine, more like a man, more of an alpha male.
Like a Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
He talked about how he's like in his 50s now, and he feels like the best he's ever had in his entire life.
Yeah, exactly.
He talks about his routine. He goes for like a jog or a run every single morning.
It's great.
Are you a morning workout person or like I'm more of a night?
More of a night
guy, yeah.
It depends. It really does. For me, I don't think I'm really one or the other. Some morning, I think that I really love to go to the gym. If I don't have... Here's the thing. When I started going to the gym, I didn't. I wasn't actually enrolled in Pierce College yet. So much of my life changed after. I think the gym was really responsible for helping my motivation because it does a lot of things to your brain too. Working out, just being active in general, whether that be walking, running. Here's the important thing to note: the best type of exercise is the one that you're going to do consistently. So it doesn't matter if you're going on a walk, going on a run, lifting weights, whatever you enjoy the most, do that. Just improve your health, and you feel so good after a workout. But yeah, going back to
get that pump.
Yeah, getting that.
You look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, damn.
Yeah, you look pumped. You also feel better. For me, I feel like I have more energy at the end of it.
Yeah, I do.
And, there's definitely a number of benefits from going to the gym. And as far as going back to alpha males we're talking about, going back to that, I think that a lot of men at young ages, especially after high school and that stuff, you kind of struggle with your confidence and like that. If you're anything like me, I did for years, struggled with low confidence, low self-esteem. But going to the gym really transformed that for me. And just the biggest thing is confronting your fears, taking that, going to those and confronting them head on. And then because you realize that the things that you were so afraid of are actually nothing, man. I've had very few negative experiences in the gym. Almost all positive people encouraging me to get to where I want to go. And things like that. My life's really transformed because of my journey in self-development. But that's the thing. There's no end. It's whenever you're trying to become better, there's always room for improvement. So never stop trying to improve yourself. Don't let people tell you can't do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because you definitely can.
And going back to like my first experience at my school gym, like those senior dudes, trying to like pick on us scrawny freshmen. Like looking back, they're like, they're strong, but they're like genetically big with like 30% body fat plus, so they're probably like picking on their own insecurities, stuff like that. So I don't know. People
like that are the jerks. Misery loves company. So like he said, picking on people because of their own insecurities. Once again, misery loves company. Don't fall into that trap. Don't become miserable like those people. Always try to encourage other people in their journey as well. It can come in many different shapes and sizes, many different forms. But yeah, no, I don't think alpha males. So like there's like like in gorillas and things like that, there's actually like an alpha in the pack. I don't think that exists among people. I think every man deep inside has that in them. It's just that some people haven't learned how to unlock that yet, and that's going back to confronting your fears, doing all that. You start to feel better. You start to feel more like a man. And
what does a man feel like?
A man. So an alpha male, a man or masculine alpha male, is a dude on his purpose. Nothing's gonna throw him off his purpose. Whether that be someone telling them they can't do something, whether that be a woman, whether that be any obstacle that can get in your way, he's still gonna be chasing after his purpose. That's the ultimate alpha male, and someone that doesn't compromise or go against their own values and that stays strong and firm. Strength is basically the defining characteristic of an alpha male, and that means mental strength, fortitude, will, and also, going back to the gym, physical strength is part of it too, but really mental strength is what you're really looking for.
It takes a lot of mental strength to go start working out and going to the gym consistently.
Yeah, man.
And definitely like not just going to the gym, but also like nutrition. If you have like different goals, like you want to like lose weight, you have to like eat healthy and stuff. That's another mental aspect.
Willpower, man.
Yeah, because like going to the gym is like that's like a tenth of like what fitness is. Like most of it's nutrition.
Exactly. He's
so,
right, 100%.
Yeah.
So
and then speaking of alpha males, though, we like moved it to alpha males. I'm gonna move it a step further. I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast. I saw a thumbnail.
Yeah.
Gorillas or grizzly bear? Who's gonna win?
Oh, I saw this.
Dude, I don't know. Like,
I think the grizzly bear. I agree with Joe Rogan. Actually,
I didn't watch it. I just saw the thumbnail.
Because gorillas are huge, dude, and they got thumbs, man. They got an evolutionary advantage, and they're a little bit smarter. But
Oh yeah, that's true.
But
now that you say it that way, gorillas like
A
bear will bite you.
I like his concept that they talked about of like when you're in the wilderness and you really are like you don't have a gun and you're vulnerable, you're no longer like
that's when you have to be a true alpha male. That's when you need to be a true alpha male. That's
exactly. You'll find a way. But yeah. So in closing, I recommend to anyone that's got something in the back of their mind they want to try or that they're thinking about trying, but they're just afraid. Oh, this might happen. For example, a lot of people might feel that way about their job, like, oh, I don't like this job, and there's this job that I really want to go try, but I'm just afraid, that I won't be good at it. Just go do it. Like the only way that you're going to break that fear is to go confront it head on. So I encourage everyone to jump on the self-development train and discover themselves and whatnot, and improve upon themselves so that you can become and reach your potential. So
don't be scared of the gym, Victor.
yeah, Vic.
I go to too many movies to have time for the gym.
Whatever.
Correct. That's true. True that.
All right, Jeremy, you have any closing thoughts?
No, not really.
Do you feel like you're an alpha male?
Yeah, I fit the description.
What about you,
At least on the gym side.
Yeah, I would say I am a work in progress. Absolutely, I'm definitely more in tune with my toxic masculinity, if you will, than I was several years ago.
What's that? What's toxic masculinity? That doesn't exist.
That's a whole nother podcast, folks. But definitely more in tune with the masculine side of Matt Walker today than I was several years ago. So I encourage everyone to also chase after their dreams and goals and confront their fears head on. But
yeah,
this has been the Post Point podcast. Our next podcast will be coming out when, Vic?
We're doing our Dr. Sleep review.
Oh, Dr. Sleep review. We will be doing that. We did go see that movie. It's really cool. So look out for that.
Is that the one with Obi-Wan? He turns evil?
Yes, to the dark side.